Welcome back to Living Local. At Bishop Hill Bakery and Eatery, the slogan is baked goods from scratch, handmade lunches to match. Love a good rhyme. Located in the heart of a former Swedish colony in Bishop Hill, Illinois, the bakery and eatery offers a dining experience with Midwest charm. Joining us in studio today, we have Tom Campbell. He is the owner of Bishop Hill Bakery and Eatery. So great to have you back in studio, Tom.
Well, hey, thanks a lot for having me, and we're going to have a little fun making up some cardamom braid today.
I cannot wait. And last time you were on, you sang us a little song about voting for Bishop Hill, and you're a man of many talents, Tom. So what is your experience with baking? How did you get into it?
Well, you know, my mom baked a lot when I was growing up, and I think when I was getting ready to move out, go to college, I kind of quickly realized I'm going to be eating some pretty subpar stuff if I don't learn how to do some of this myself. So that was kind of the initial thing, and then anyway, one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I'm working at a small wholesale bakery right here in the Quad Cities, and loved it. Ended up going on to the American Institute of Baking down in Manhattan, Kansas, and when the opportunity arose while I was working for Sara Lee up in Madison, Wisconsin, we bought the building in Bishop Hill and made a go of it.
Wow. How long has the bakery and eatery been around?
So we're coming up on 15 years in March, and we started out pretty much just as a bakery, but we started to add lunch items, and the lunches started to take off quite a bit. So we started out as a bakery that served some lunches. Now we're a restaurant that sells baked goods.
Wonderful. And today we are getting hands-on with one of your popular items. So it's a cardamom braid? Is that
cardamom?
Okay, so what is that?
Well, okay, so it's a sweet bread, and it's flavored mainly with ground cardamom and grated orange peel.
Okay, what's cardamom? I'm not a baker, okay?
So cardamom is a spice used in a few different places around the world. In the Mideast, you'll find cardamom used in tea, but in Scandinavia, it's the seed is ground up and it's used in baking.
Huh, so interesting. All right, let's get started, Tom. Okay. What are the first steps?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to have here, let's just give you the ingredients, and I'm not going to go through the quantities right now just for time, but here we have, so we've got some flour. I use patent flour, which you kind of use for bread. So if you want to use bread or all-purpose flour, which is what most people are going to be able to find. I've got milk here. We've got some sugar, butter. You're going to melt this butter. And then we've got grated orange peel. Here's the ground cardamom. And this ground cardamom, if you smell that,
ooh!
A lot of people ask me, Tom,
fragrant.
What does cardamom, I'm not familiar with it, what does it smell like? What does it taste like? I think, personally, it tastes somewhere between cinnamon and nutmeg.
Right.
So it's a sweet spice. It's really unique. You're not going to find any other spice out there. It tastes exactly like that, and it's perfect for this bread. And then we've got yeast right here.
Okay.
And then salt.
A little bit of salt.
Okay.
All right.
So this is basically what we got in the cardamom braid. So what we do is when we're mixing this up, and you can do this recipe either by hand, where you're mixing and kneading by hand, or if you've got a bread machine or a mixer at home, you can do it that way as well. I've got this bread here, and if you're going to be kneading it, you know, what you need to do is you're going to be working it and turning, and this table's moved a little bit.
I know,
I'm going to try
table on wheels.
to
I'll
not
hold down the fork.
move it a little bit. So, but anyway, you're going to have to do some work if you're going to knead it by hand. But you know what? It's going to get you in shape.
There you go.
That's
it's
what I
like
figure.
A workout.
Yeah. You're going to eat the bread, but you've been working out. It's all going to even out. So basically, once you get the bread mixed out, what we're going to do then is we're going to shape it. We're going to braid it, right? It's called the cardamom braid, so we got to braid it.
We are literally braiding this bread.
Just a little bit more flour down here.
All right.
Okay. And basically what I'm going to do, this is 2-loaf version right here.
Okay.
And so I'm going to divide it up into 2 loaves.
All right, I see.
This feels, yes,
feels
okay. That feels pretty much good to me.
He's a human scale in addition to all of his many talents.
All right, here. So we're going to get off 3 equal pieces.
Okay.
We're going to set this over to the side because this is going to make more than one, like I said. And now we're going to roll out ropes.
Okay, I'm going to help you out here, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
You're much better at this.
It's harder than you think, isn't it?
Flour. Throw it like he does.
Boom!
Boom!
That's what we do. That's what I do every morning. Boom! Boom! Waking people up in Bishop Hill, hearing boom.
Okay, so it's got to be pretty long and skinny there.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Let's get it going here.
This is fun.
All right.
I am not good at this.
Hey, well, it took me about 6 years of 8 hours a day just to get this part down.
There we
go.
Really,
not really. All right, we're going to get equal ones here. I'll finish this off for you.
Thank you,
This is like getting the pickle jar open, right? You loosened it for me. There we go.
I did my best.
Okay, now, for those that might be familiar with braiding, a lot of people, they'll start at one end like this, right? Oftentimes what people end up doing though is you end up having one fat end, which is going to be this end, and then you kind of want to tend to pull on it, and you end up with one skinny end. So a way that you can get it a little more even is if you start and you make an X with one of the out one, and then take your one that that is left, fold that over, then you can continue your braiding.
Oh, wow.
And then flip it over.
Okay.
And do it the other way.
I never would have thought of that. I would have definitely started from one end and would have had a fat side and a skinny side.
Well, and for ladies, they're used to braiding hair, right?
Right.
So you're only going to start on one end there.
Right, exactly. So it's a little bit different for the cardamom.
This is kind of what we have here. I probably get them a little bit longer, but this dough, I probably underdeveloped that dough just a little bit. So it's a little bit shorter than it would be. Okay, so then after this, here we would take our pan and we would then proof the bread.
Okay.
Which is basically you're going to put it in a nice warm environment because this has yeast. This yeast right here, you need to treat it well. You need to take care of it.
Tender,
just like it's a little baby. Okay.
TLC.
So you take care of the yeast, and so what you want to do is put this in a warm, like say you put a pan of hot water in an oven, stick this in there with the oven. Don't turn the oven on, leave it off. It's going to be nice, warm, and moist in there. The yeast is going to be able to be active. It's going to create some gases. It's going to rise, and when you get up to just about this size right here, which that is about how much.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. It's like it grows so much.
So then what you're going to do is you're going to spray the top a little bit or brush the top. A little bit of water.
Just with water?
Yep. And then you're going to sprinkle some of this coarse sugar on the top. Now, Scandinavia, they have pearl sugar, which is like coarse sugar, but it's not as transparent as what this is. And that's a little more expensive. So
gotcha.
I would have to add quite a bit to my price to do that.
Definitely.
So we go with the coarse sugar. And so then what we end up with is this right here.
And how long do you bake it then, Tom?
Okay, so we're going to put it in a 375 oven, and we're going to bake it for about 25 minutes or so.
25 minutes.
If you most people have an oven that probably has a hot spot and a cool spot, so about 2/3 of the way. You want to switch it around so it bakes nice and even.
Fantastic.
Good.
And that's how it's done, people. Cardamom bread at Bishop Hill Bakery. Yeah. Thank you so much for showing us the steps of that, Tom.
Yeah, you bet.
Now, as if Bishop Hill Bakery wasn't reason enough to go to Bishop Hill, what are some events that people can look forward to this season?
Well, fortunately, we have starting not this coming weekend, which is still a great weekend to come to Bishop Hill, but the 3 following weekends starts kind of our build up to Christmas. So the first weekend we have, which is Thanksgiving weekend, we have Christmas Market, okay, which is November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's all sorts of special events going on in town. There's lots of live music. There are specials at the different shops. Everybody's got their places decked out for Christmas. It's just a really festive atmosphere. And then that continues again the next weekend. Same thing in Bishop Hill, just another weekend of all that Christmas goodness. And then we round things out for the year with our Lucianites Festival, where everybody's open until about 9 o'clock or so. Luminaries up and down the sidewalks, candles in the windows, live music. A little bit of snow falling.
Oh, picturesque. It is magical. Bishop Hill is the place to be, am I right?
It is. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Definitely. Well, Tom, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, for more information, you can find Bishop Hill Bakery on Facebook. We'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com.